Hey everybody, I'm Justin.
And I'm Kris.
And we are about to get lost in the back roads of South Carolina. Our goal today was to go to a little town called Abbeville, but as we were on our way there, we saw signs for a place called Due West. There's a town here called Due West.
Or DeWitt.
Or DeWitt.
DeWitt.
I guess there was some confusion as how it was supposed to be pronounced. I guess originally it was DeWitt.
It was supposed to be DeWitt, and nobody could pronounce DeWitt, and they kept thinking it was Due West, which doesn't really make sense to me because they don't sound a lot alike at all.
So we're going to cruise through Due West and then eventually make our way into Abbeville. We have not been to these places before, so we really don't know what to expect. I never even heard of Due West until we were driving up the road and started seeing the signs. So we'll pick up when we get there.
All right. See you later.
We've arrived in the town of Due West. There is a
fancy
college here. Erskine, I guess? Erskine College?
One of the oldest Christian colleges.
I don't know. I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up. I was reading about it, and it's on the list of National Registers of Places. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Some old houses here. Kind of figured it was going to be a town like this, but I wonder if there's like a downtown area.
Did you see that lady?
No.
She was one of the original inhabitants.
Yeah.
She might have been a ghost.
Well, we're just kind of cruising through the town. Like I said, we've never been here before, but there's some kind of neat old houses.
I would love any one of these houses just...
Yeah, they're cool old houses. But, I don't know. We're going to see if we can maybe find like a downtown area or something like that. Like a little, you know, where there's shops and that sort of thing, but I don't. Oh, look at that place. I don't know if we're gonna find that. So.
Not a very party in college town, is it?
No, it's not a part. It seems like most of this town is just a college. There's just a very, very short downtown area, which I'll show you. This is it. This is downtown Due West. There's a pasta place. Produce patch.
Guy standing on the corner staring at you.
Looks like there's some sort of a convenience store, and that's it. That you have just seen Due West, South Carolina. So
pretty house though.
We are going to head out to Abbeville right now. It's about 12 miles away. We should be there shortly. There is a Dollar Tree in every little town in South Carolina. Every one of them. Well, maybe not every one of them, but every one I've been to. So we stopped in this little town called Abbeville, and we're looking at this monument here. It's a monument to, well, it said that Abbeville, well, it's not really said, it is a fact that Abbeville is the birthplace and the death place of the Confederacy. And so the Confederacy ran from, looks like 1861 to 1865. The Confederate government was started here, and it was dissolved in this town in Abbeville, South Carolina. And so anyways, this monument here is a monument to that. It's like they seceded in 1860, December 20th. Still see the Confederate flag up there on the I don't know what you call that, obelisk or something like that. Anyways, it's a cute little town. You know, you can see all these little shops and stuff like that. But the problem with, I've found with a lot of these a lot of these little towns in South Carolina, probably in any state really, is that most of the businesses, a lot of them are open during the week, kind of like just regular business hours. But then on a Saturday, where it would be good for people to walk around and take a look, a lot of the shops are closed. The restaurants all seem to be open, but you can't really kind of meander through the town and look at a lot of the things because many of these businesses are just closed during the weekend. So,
But this is kind of interesting. This is somebody donated a watering trowel to the city of Abbeville for all the animals here.
that's
So,
what this is for. Where did you
yeah.
see that at?
It's written on this sign right here. It's interesting. It says that the designs of water flowed from lion's mouth
Yeah, there's a lion's mouth right there.
into a basin of polished green granite rock. The upper bowl was for the horses, and the smaller cups at the bottom for the cats and the dogs.
Where's the cups at the bottom?
I don't know. There should be some.
So this thing here, the horses would drink out of the top one?
Yeah, and then I guess the dogs and cats could drink out of the bottom one. But
I don't know how the horses would get to that though, in the middle.
I bet you didn't have this before. There
Yeah.
wasn't a picture of it.
Huh, that's interesting.
She followed the watering trials, I guess, through the, looks like many modern frisk activists was wanting to improve a lot of workhouses, courses. It's hard to talk because it's so freaking cold.
it is like 30, like maybe 30, 35 degrees, something like that here, and it's windy. Well, it's breezy.
Well, the wind is what's so cold.
Yeah, it has that breeze. It just really puts a chill on you.
But did you to show like how pretty this Abbeville is?
Yeah, I was kind of circling around here, so I'll just kind of pivot around.
Beautiful city.
So it's got this little town square here,
It reminds
which
me of
where
Covington,
we're standing.
isn't
Yeah, it's kind of similar to, we went to Covington, Georgia last year, and it's kind of similar. That Covington is where they filmed the Dukes of Hazzard and Vampire Diaries and places like that.
And here they filmed Sleeping with the Enemy.
Yeah, they filmed Sleeping with the
we're gonna go
Enemy,
look at that.
1991 movie with, was it Julia Roberts, right?
Yeah.
Sleeping with the Enemy was filmed here. Well, the little cottage that it was filmed at, apparently. I don't think I've ever seen that movie, but it was filmed here.
But she said, Julia Roberts said some disparaging remarks about Abbeville. So the people of the town, the citizens, got angry and they took out a billboard telling her to pretty much apologize because they didn't like the statement she said. Which is kind of funny if you think a little city comes together to put up a billboard for Julia Roberts. I don't know if it worked or not.
A big part of this town was destroyed back in the 1870s due to fire. A lot of these buildings, original buildings anyway, had burned down. But this one here, I'm going to turn around and show you. This one here is the old bank building. It was built in 1865, and it's one of the surviving buildings from that fire. This building's been here for a long time. They said it was the first Bank of South Carolina in the upstate. From way back then, 1865. A lot of the buildings that did burn down, I don't know how they really would have burned down though. I mean, they're all brick. Looks like those stuff, you know, like the molding at the top there, looks like it's been there for a very, very long time. So behind me, this building behind me is the Abbeville Opera House. It looks like it was opened in 1908, and originally they were doing plays and stuff like that in here, and then in 1910, just a few years later, they started showing movies. It was silent movies, but they were doing the silent movies and they were doing plays. And then about a decade later, that stopped completely. The live shows stopped, and they just started playing movies, where that was when they started bringing sound to the movies. They call them talkies. And then it was closed several years later for a long time, but then it was restored and reopened, and now in fact there's a Leonard Skinner tribute band in there doing a sound check right now.
Which I wish we would have known. I would have loved to have gone to see them. We'll have to look at the itinerary and see what's coming up.
Yeah, we'll have to look around and see what's coming up. But apparently, as the story goes, there was a lady who was supposed to perform here. How long ago was it?
It didn't really say, just when as soon as it opened in the beginning.
Okay, so a long time ago she was supposed to perform here, and she ended up passing away just before the performance. I don't know how she passed away. Come and stand right here, that sun. Stand right here. Come stand right here. Can you feel the heat?
Yeah, it feels good.
Like it's reflecting off of that and just coming like right down onto you.
Yeah, it feels nice. It's so cold out here.
Anyways, so she passed away just before the performance, and it said that she haunts this building, and to this day they when there's a show happening, they reserve a seat for her. So there's an empty seat up there with a light shining down on it, in honor of this lady who passed just before her performance here.
But that would suck. Wait all your life to be this actress, and right when you get your big break, you die.
Yeah.
I would not like that very much.
Nope. And then across the street over there,
Yeah, what does it say about the hotel?
it really didn't say a whole lot.
Well,
I mean,
did
it's
you
just
see that little plaque there?
I did, and it
Okay.
didn't really say a whole lot.
Pretty hotel.
It's just a hotel. Yeah, it's just a cool hotel. There's a restaurant down in there called JP's. But yeah, it looks like a neat hotel.
That'd be kind of fun to see here.
Uh-oh. What is that?
Somebody's getting in trouble.
So we're gonna round the corner here, check out this house. There was a movie back in 1991 called Sleeping with the Enemy with Julia Roberts, and apparently the movie was supposed to have taken place in Iowa, but this house that they used for the movie was actually located in Abbeville, South Carolina, and that's actually this house right here. This, I think, was supposed to be a cottage, right? It was supposed to be a cottage on a bigger property. This is the place where Julia Roberts was living in that movie. So I don't know, it's always kind of neat to see you know, filming locations for movies, and a lot of movies were filmed in Georgia. A lot of shows are still filmed in Georgia, which we've, you know, checked out some of the filming locations there, but this one here is in Abbeville, South Carolina. Kind of cool. So back to what we were saying about Abbeville being the birthplace and death place of the Confederacy. This place is called Secession Hill. According to this placard here, it says that on November 22nd, 1860, a mass meeting on this site was one of the first held in the South after Abraham Lincoln's election as president on November 6th. A procession from the town square, numbering 2,000 to 3,000, made its way to a grove here near the Greenville and Columbia Railroad Depot. Many in the crowd wore palmetto cockades. What's a cockade?
It's a hat.
Oh, okay. Wore palmetto cockades as bands played, militia and volunteer companies marched with flags and banners, and some units even fired cannon salutes. Sorry, I have to go back because it continues on the back. Andrew G. McGrath, arguing the time for action has arrived, was typical of most speakers who called for South Carolina's immediate secession from the Union. The meeting passed resolutions urging secession and recommended delegates to represent Abbeville District at the secession convention in December. This hill, then known as Magazine Hill for a powder magazine here, was soon renamed Secession Hill and has been known by that name since 1860.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a trip. So this is like where we're standing right here is where the Confederacy began and the South seceded from the Union. Wow, that's a lot of history right here on this one spot. So they've erected this monument here for that. This here is the Burt Stark House, and this is the house where Jefferson Davis held a meeting, and it was decided that the Confederacy was lost, that the effort, you know, to secede from the Union was not going to work, and that it was all over. And that happened on May 2nd of 1865, right here. That first place that we went to, or the last place that we went to, Secession Hill, that's where, which was about 5 minutes from here, that's where it was decided and it was called upon that that South Carolina was going to secede from the Union. South Carolina was the first state, was the very first state in the Union to secede, and it was decided on that Secession Hill. And then here on this spot, about 5 minutes away from there, well, by car anyway, it was decided that Confederacy was lost. So Abbeville really is literally the birthplace and the death place of the Confederacy. It's an interesting little town, this pretty little town, interesting little town. Obviously lots of history. Cool place to come and check out. Well, we just left Abbeville and we had a nice time. It was a cool little town to go explore. We saw some interesting historical sites, and yeah, we had a great time there.
It was the birthplace and the death place of the Confederacy, so that was kind of interesting. They're also like, you want to try to get there earlier because the Welcome Center closed at what, 3? So we
3-ish, something like that.
Yeah, we missed that. And then there's you can tour that mansion there, but they said it was closed for the month of January, so we
closed for the month of January, and it closed at 4:30. I guess we got there a little bit late. We got there kind of mid-afternoon, and I guess on Saturdays a lot of the businesses, from what I was able to tell, are open, but typically they close around 2 o'clock. So if you're not out and about early, which I mean 2 o'clock isn't really that early, but
we usually leave earlier. We were just piddling around today.
Yeah, we had some things we had to do, but anyways, it's a great town. We had a good time.
Yeah. Plus we had to work this morning, so that worked out well.
Well, thanks for coming along, and we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.
Adios.
Bye.